Outside is presented by CBA. It's just a better gun.
Hello again, everyone. I'm O'Neill Williams, and welcome to our program. You know, over the years, while the adventure is still there, we've endeavored to pass along a lot of information from people about hunting and fishing and outdoors. We firmly believe that the more you know, the better outdoorsman you can be. So that is today's program. Quality Deer Management Association in Athens, Georgia, the annual convention. And while we can't show it all, we picked out a few spots there that I think you'll have a great deal of interest. You'll know more about deer hunting and outdoors if you stay right there and watch O'Neill Outside. Brian, what is this convention I'm visiting here? What am I going to learn from it?
Well, no, this is our 25th anniversary national convention. 25 years of quality deer management, reshaping the future of deer hunting across America. So we're so excited. We're here in Athens, Georgia, right where our national office is based. You've been there several times. We're here in town. We have members from across the country, in fact, around the world. Over 700 members, 30 states, Canada, and even Australia. They're coming far and wide to meet and learn the most they can, and obviously to celebrate our 25 years.
Okay, and what are they going to learn and from whom?
Well, in fact, we have so many opportunities, more than ever before this year. During the mornings, they can go to seminars, some of the top deer research minds in the nation, Dr. Grant Woods, Dr. Carl Miller. Opportunities to go out to the University of Georgia's deer research facilities and actually learn what the University of Georgia has pioneered.
That's some hot stuff, too.
Oh,
I've
absolutely.
Been there,
it's wonderful. And we're also bringing people out to our national office where we have a number of food plots and habitat management demonstrations, coyote trapping in the field, hog trapping, a number of different things. So much going on, it's hard to even choose where you want to be.
Well, I can tell you that when you become a member of QDMA and you come to the convention or other things that you have in this guise, it's not like talking to somebody in the parking lot of a Bass Pro. It's really good information.
Well, we are blessed to have the best minds, the whitetail minds, both practical field hunters and managers, researchers, come together in one place once a year at our national convention. You get a chance to learn from people who really know what they're talking about.
They do.
And it is a lot of fun to be around so much knowledge and so many people having a good time.
You betcha. And we're going to find out and meet some of those people right now. So many things to learn when you're a member of QDMA. I want you to meet Bob Wallace, and he grows trees.
That's right. I'm from Real Tree Nursery in Chestnut Hill Outdoors, and we grow chestnut trees. Chestnuts were the most common tree in eastern North America, and they were killed by a disease in the early 1900s.
You know, I think I went up to the mountains one time, and they had these huge, they would take you to see these huge chestnut trees that were dead.
They were like redwoods in the east, and they grew from Maine to North Florida, and they died out in about 30 years. It was a huge ecological loss. My grandfather, Robert Dunstan, bred a chestnut resistant to the chestnut blight, and we've been selling and growing trees all over the eastern United States for the past 30 years, selling to commercial orchardists. The biggest problem they had is the deer were eating all their harvest. Deer evolved eating chestnuts over the last hundreds of thousands of years. And in tests that James Kroll, Dr. Deer did, comparing chestnuts to acorns, they ate chestnuts 100 to 1 over acorns. And the reason is the chestnuts are high in carbohydrate, they're high in protein, they're twice the carbohydrate, twice the protein of acorns. They're sweet, they don't have any bitter taste and tannin. Chestnuts also only take 2 to 4 years before they start to bear nuts, and they bear every single year. So you're not waiting 10 to 20 years like you are with an oak tree before you get your first acorns.
Okay, so of the members here at QDMA and this audience right here, they say, ooh, I'd like to put some of those trees on my property.
They need to go to realtreenursery.com or chestnuthilloutdoors.com.
And they can test out the effect.
We also are making a new chestnut-based attractant, and it works tremendously. It's made with ground dried chestnuts, and it works absolutely fantastic.
Wonderful. What a great idea. And you're here for a seminar at QDMA.
We're going to be teaching how to plant trees here in just a few minutes.
All right, the audience will see this in a little while, and maybe next year you can plan on being at QDMA to learn things like this from people like Bob Wallace. Thank you very much.
My
that's
pleasure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What a great idea.
Yeah, it really
you betcha.
is. Yeah.
Chestnut magic.
O'Neill Outside, brought to you by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Bill Jordan's Real Tree, family, friends, and the outdoors. loyal pet food for a lifetime. And XGO, the first layer of defense.
O'Neill here with a new comfortable base layer for outdoorsmen. It's called XGO. You may know about it already. It's been used by the military for over 10 years, and if it's right for them, it's certainly right for us. The Acclimate Dry Moisture Wicking technology keeps you warm, comfortable, and dry under any conditions, while AG47 Silver controls scent-causing bacteria. XGO, 100% made in the USA and only available at proxgo.com outdoors.
CVA's new Acura MR. Its premium Bergara barrel guarantees it to be the most accurate muzzleloader you've ever shot. Or your money back. Visit CVA.com for details.
In my career, I've learned a thing or two about having the right equipment and a great crew. I've also learned how great it is to do the things you love. That's why I'm happy to be part of the Bass Pro family, because a name you can trust, people who stand behind you, and the equipment you can count on mean everything to me. Bass Pro Shops, where commitment, passion, and the great outdoors all come together.
You own guns, here's a protection system you've just got to have. Gun Protect. It inhibits rust at the molecular level. How? The cloak emits a vapor to create a corrosion-inhibiting skin that attaches to all metals and locks out corrosion. Gun Protect cloaks are designed for your long guns and for your handguns. There's even a cloak to protect your ammo. Use Gun Protect at home or in the field. Gun Protect, total protection at the molecular level.
Year1Wheels.com is your source for muscle car wheels. Classic styles in original and modern sizes. And now available 17-inch 5-spoke and snowflake wheels as low as $199 each. Update your muscle car now. Visit Year1Wheels.com.
I want you to meet Rod Pinkston. He started a company called Jaeger Pro. But let's start off from scratch. When did you start and what's the purpose of your company?
Well, my background is military. I spent 24 years in the military. In fact, I've got 6 retired soldiers on my team with 134 years of military background. So this is really something that we're used to. We often kid people that we just went from a 2-legged enemy to a 4-legged enemy.
I got you.
Using the same methodology and the same technology we use in combat.
So what do you do?
We actually are the most efficient feral hog control company in the United States. We currently have landed the Environmental Protection Agency contract to remove 1,000 feral hogs from a certain part of Georgia because of there's been triple the amounts of E. coli, fecal E. coli in the water source. So we're going to go in there and remove those hogs, and we can do that more efficiently than anybody in the United States because of the methods and the technology that we use.
Say I've got 100 acres, nice deer lease, and all of a sudden I see evidence of hogs.
Right.
I'll just start shooting them and that'll be just fine. Correct me.
I think as hunters, we're educated and conditioned to be conservationists. It's not ethical to shoot a fawn deer. It's not ethical to shoot an elk calf or a bear cub because those are all legal game species. But the problem is we use that same concept with pigs and think we can shoot a couple and it's going to solve the same problem. But we can't. We have to treat a pig like a pest in order to actually solve the problem because a couple of things. Number one, a hog reproduces younger than any other mammal. They will actually drop 5 litters in 2 years.
Oh.
The last animals going into the trap are always the pregnant sows. If we have the last 4 sows out of a group of 33 that were pregnant, if I ask any farmer or landowner in the United States, would you have been happy capturing 29 of 33? Of course they would, except that those last 4 sows that they missed had 28 fetuses inside. So if you really look at net solving their problem a month from now, they've got the same population as they had before, and they expended all that work. And that's why that wildlife damage management model doesn't work. We want to actually capture that whole entire group of 33 and stop that whole generation.
So I can't shoot enough of them on my deer lease to make any difference. After all, I'm only there during deer season.
We can teach a 10-year-old to go in with our trapping system to be more efficient and actually harvest more animals per year than the best hunter in the state. I'm not saying that hunting is bad. I mean, the people that want to go out there and shoot private land or public land and hunt with a bow and arrow or hunt at night like we do, or hunt with dogs, we need all those things. And the way we look at it, we just have to do a better job managing feral hogs, or if not, as hunters, we're going to be viewed as part of the problem instead of part of the solution. and I want hunters to be part of the solution.
So go to jagerpro.com. You'll find out all about it. Use this service, and the deer and the other wildlife and your deer lease, and you will all benefit from it, I promise. There's a mountain of education by being a member of QDMA, the Quality Deer Management Association. I've always said on the program, you need to be a member of 2 conservation organizations. It will amplify your knowledge. You will be a student of hunting and not just a hunter. So join 2 organizations, be involved, and lastly, get your children involved. Think about how much more you would know had you started an education in the outdoors when you were a youngster. And that's your CONUS tip of the week, and it's a good one. Good girl.
Loyal for a lifetime of legendary hunting seasons.
These are our Powerbelt Platinum bullets, designed especially for Magnum charges. Platinums provide optimal on-game performance at higher velocities, making them the perfect choice for shooters who use a Magnum charge. The 270 grain Powerbelt Platinum, just one of over 40 different Powerbelt bullets. Find out which one's best for your gun, game, load, and distance. Go to PowerbeltBullets.com. Powerbelt, America's #1 muzzleloading bullet.
This portion of O'Neill Outside is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Department of Natural Resources Go Fish Education Center. Georgia Power, official energy partner of you. Cass Creek, you can't get more real than Cass Creek. And the Georgia Department of Economic Development. Visit exploregeorgia.org and discover the unexpected.
If you were at the QDMA National Convention here in Athens, Georgia, you would meet Kip Adams. Now tell me what you do here. What is your title?
Well, I'm very lucky. I'm a wildlife biologist, and I'm QDMA's Director of Education and Outreach. So I get to work with all the folks and teach them about deer.
What are you finding out for QDMA that has application to the guy looking at us right now?
Well, one of the things that we do is we provide information for hunters and landowners and natural resource professionals, and we're tied into all the current research that's happening. So we get to see, hey, what are deer doing now? What are people learning about deer? And then relay that in a hunting context, because yeah, we're biologists, but we're hunters too.
Okay, so tell me some of that right now.
All right,
what are you finding out?
One of the coolest things that's going on right now, there's a lot of research out there. We're putting GPS collars on bucks, and not just young bucks, but older bucks.
Okay.
So we know that young bucks are pretty patternable and are pretty easy to see, but what we want as hunters, we want to know, what are those 3, 4, even those 5-year-old bucks doing? And for the first time, with the advent of GPS collars, there's lots of research going on to say, hey, how far are they moving? Where are they going? When are they moving? Which as hunters, that really plays into what we want to see. So that's the kind of stuff that's going on, and then we share it with our members and teach people.
Okay, share it with us right now.
Very good. I was hoping you'd ask that.
All right, share it.
I like to talk about deer.
Okay.
Well, we know for one thing that deer have, in some cases, very large home ranges, but we used to think that as they got older, all these home ranges got bigger. We're finding out now that's not necessarily the case, and in some areas, as these bucks get older, the home ranges get a little smaller, or at least the parts of those home ranges that they use mostly, so they're not these huge wanderers. Now some are, but for the most part, as they get older, they start to get a little smaller.
Let's take a typical Georgia whitetail, 3 years old. What's his range?
We used to always talk about it as a square mile, 640
I used
acres.
to say that.
But we know now that's probably not exact. Some may have that, but on average, as they get into that 3, 4 years old, it's probably a little smaller than that. But what's more important is the part of it, what we call his core area, or the area that he spends most of his time in, can be very, very small. So as managers, we can do some good habitat work to make them want to spend even more time there, and then increase our chances to cross paths with him during the deer season.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question that I get every week at O'Neill Outside and all this. And again, this is so, if you're a member, or when you are a member of QDMA, you get to talk to people like this that give you these answers, not somebody like me. I get it every year, every week almost. I see deer all over the place. Man, I get so fired up. Deer season's on the way. Opening day, poof.
Gone.
They're gone. but they're still there. What's going on?
A lot of it has to do with deer reading us. So in most cases, those deer, they react to what we do. As soon as we start spending a lot more time in the woods, there's a lot more scent, there's more sound, we're walking all over, suddenly they're like, whoa. As soon as they see us in the woods and all this additional pressure, they start moving less during daylight, more during the night, moving a little bit less where it's more open. So we need to be smart in how we hit the woods that first day and all that scent and pressure, because those deer aren't leaving. They're there. They just become a whole lot harder to see.
His ears and his eyes and especially his nose.
Especially his nose.
He says, deer season again.
That's right.
I'm going to hide out for a few weeks. You have to keep that in mind. So we want to talk about coyotes because everybody has them.
Everybody likes to talk about coyotes.
Oh yeah. Right. So I've got a deer lease, we'll say.
Okay.
10 acres, 100 acres, whatever.
Whatever you have.
And I see evidence of coyotes.
Right.
What is the effect of a reasonable or noticeable coyote population on the deer?
Well, what we've seen in removing this local population that you're talking about is up to 200% fawn recruitment increases. Maybe you've never seen twins on your property before. Now you're gonna see these does having more twins, maybe even triplets. You know, you're gonna see just more fawns in general. The thing about coyotes is, I hear it all the time, is that, well, we have to shoot so many does anyway. And I try to explain to them, even getting them to do it themselves to help themselves out, is that the coyote don't care if he eats your does or if he eats your bucks. So you're getting to manage basically whatever the coyote leaves you to manage. You're not managing what you put these food plots out for and all this hard work that you put into growing your deer. You're left with whatever he leaves you. If it's all does, that's what you got to work with.
So now I've got this property and I notice we've got coyotes and all this kind of stuff. What do I do about it?
People tell me all the time too that we shoot this coyote when we see. That's great. I mean, I encourage you, yes, shoot the coyotes when you see them. But as far as having an actual dent in that population, it's not going to do it. You need at least 70% of that population gone.
Every year?
Yeah, every year.
Okay.
70% of that population needs to be knocked down. And I'm glad you said that, because timing can be real critical too. If you're only allowed to trap certain months, timing it the closest you can to your fawning season is going to get you the best results. Now where you can, if you could trap 2 or 3 different times a year, it's even better.
Okay.
But the closer you can get it to fawning season, the better. The big thing is keeping the data. People say it's effective or it's not effective, but you do need that data. QDMA guys, they know about teaching this, keeping the data for all of your records, and then you can see the trends. Okay, we did see fawn recruitment increasing. Even keeping population data on your coyotes, you know, doing track counts when you're doing trail camera surveys, writing down how many that you see and seeing at least the trends of, is it going up or down, how's things going.
An effective trapping program will increase the fawn recruitment by how much?
We've seen up to 200% increases.
I see, that's a good way for you to know it's going to happen on your property. Thank you very much.
Thank you a lot for having me.
You bet. Think about all these people that are learning so much about deer hunting and hunting for white-tailed deer. They're learning an awful lot, and you can too, which reminds me, I always enjoy the harvest on the big green egg, and we've got a recipe headed your way right now. Kind of a rough day outside today, but here's a great recipe, one we used many, many years ago, and it was very popular. It's called venison sausage breakfast pie, and it's easily made, and when you use it on the egg, then it really is special. All right, we have some egg, onions. Sounds like everything I make is eggs and onions and sausage and ground venison and so on. That's venison sausage, mushrooms, plenty of cheese, evaporated milk, salt. Now what makes it better this time is this down and dizzy seasoning. Let me show you what that looks like. See that right there? Use plenty of that, and that really sets it up. And so we whisk this together. Believe me, as it cooks, we don't have to be perfect with this. As it cooks, it will blend. And put it on the egg. And remember, unlike so many other grills that uses just charcoal, you can set it at the temperature that you want that cooks the dish like it should be, and you can maintain that temperature. And when you cook this pie, or anything else for that matter, with natural charcoal on the egg. Wow. Take a look, 400 degrees exactly, and it will remain that way throughout the cooking process. 35 minutes, I'll be right back. Venison sausage breakfast pie with big green egg down and dizzy. It's truly outstanding. Recipes? O'NeillOutside.com, BigGreenEgg.com. Big Green Egg, the ultimate cooking experience.
We duck hunt every day. Sometimes, though, we disagree on where.
Where are we hunting today?
Elbow Lake Bluff. Sometimes we disagree on when to shoot. Cut 'em!
Or when to say cut 'em.
You boys too slow. One thing we do agree on, we all wear real tree camo.
Real tree extra.
Max 4.
Hey, we can't even agree to disagree.
Here, son, spray some of this. Now try it.
Hey, that works. I'm out of here.
You should. LQ5 Hunter Grade Lubricant. It is the very best you can use. It lasts and lasts because it doesn't oxidize. It prevents rust. It doesn't gum up in any kind of weather. Go to lq5performance.com, find out about it and how to order. It's all I use.
The CBA Acura V2 with its premium Bergara barrel. The Acura is guaranteed to outshoot any other muzzleloader or your money back. Visit CBA.com for details.
Year1Wheels.com is your source for muscle car wheels. Classic styles in original and modern sizes. And now available 17-inch 5-spoke and snowflake wheels as low as $199 each. Update your muscle car now. Visit Year1Wheels.com.
It's for those who get up early on weekends and those who'd rather rough it than take it easy. It's for those who know it's not just a sport, but a way of life. The new Food Saver Game Saver vacuum sealing system keeps food fresh up to 5 times longer with a rugged design and 12-volt adapter cord for easy use in the field, ensuring your game and fish is fresh when you need it. The Food Saver Game Saver vacuum sealing system. Fielded fresh, sealed fresh.
I love Kona scopes, so it's no surprise to O'Neill that the new M30 is recommended by the National Tactical Officers Association. Designed for hunters and tactical shooters, the M30s offer more features than any other scope, including a built-in level bubble for long-range shooting, the Konus engraved reticle for durability, and the Konus lifetime replacement warranty. Konus Pro M30s, shoot like a pro.
There's more O'Neill Outside coming up. But first, let's thank our sponsors. Konus Scopes and Spotting Scopes. What's your game? Liquifix LQ5 Hunter Grade Lubricant. The Food Saver Game Saver Vacuum Sealing System. Hodgdon Powder, the gunpowder people. And Gun Protect, lockout corrosion at the molecular level.
Time for the CVA guest book this week from Jason Griffin in South Haven, Mississippi. He says he loves the show, especially when we are taking young hunters into the woods and teaching them the values and responsibilities of good hunting ethics. This is something that gets lost in many other hunting shows, which gives me the opportunity to say yes indeed. If you play Little League or high school football or lacrosse or soccer or wrestling, there's always a referee, an umpire, a field judge there to throw a flag on you if you do something wrong. Not in the outdoors. You know the rules, you understand them. It's up to you to play fair. See there? So much more in the outdoors, and it'll last so much longer. So, if you'd like to win a CVA Wolf Model 50 caliber muzzleloader, go to O'NeillOutside.com, the CVA guest book. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you the CVA muzzleloader. Brian, let's take it back 25 years. How did you get started? What did you talk about then versus now? How's it changed?
Well, we started 25 years ago by a very visionary man, Joe Hamilton, who saw a need for a change in the way we think about and manage deer herds. That is to balance deer herds with their habitat by harvesting the appropriate number of female deer, protecting those younger bucks, and allowing that deer herd to function more like Mother Nature intended. And thankfully, after 25 years now, recent surveys show that 82% of hunters in America follow QDM principles while hunting.
Oh.
A huge shift in the hunting culture in America. We went through a period of abundant deer herds. We're still blessed to have a lot of deer with some challenges, though, for the next 25 years.
Okay.
And that's where QDMA really is focused now. It's not what we did. We did wonderful work for 25 years. But the next 25 years is more important. It's what's happening now. We've got a lot of headwinds. We've got disease issues, predator issues, declining hunter numbers, a whole host of factors out there that QDMA must work on. But I think no two more important, though, than land access, where are hunters going to hunt in the future, and youth. Who's going to hunt in the future?
Oh, good.
So our two spearhead initiatives now moving forward, among many others, our new Rack Pack Youth program, getting youth involved, and also finding ways for hunters to gain access to both public and private lands, because they have to have a place to hunt if we're going to have a sustainable hunting future. Any hunter can participate in quality deer management, and every hunter should consider joining QDMA because of what we do to protect our hunting heritage.
Okay, I want to seize on a point. 2 times now you just said it's not just for landowners, it's for hunters.
Absolutely. If you're a whitetail hunter and want to learn how to hunt better, you want to protect your future and your grandchildren's future to hunt, no organization is more active fighting for those rights than QDMA.
You bet. I am proud to be a member, and if you were, you would be. If you are, I bet you still are. Brian, thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. It's always a pleasure.